presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Ben in San Jose. Ben, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
I just wanted to thank you and your team and everything. I've been using your technique with the 10-minute charts, watching the VIX, and just making a fortune here on the futures.
Isn't it interesting? That's awesome, man.
It's wonderful. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
Okay, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, 3:07 p.m. And guess what? This is the last afternoon show of the week, which is remarkable. Feels like the week just started. It's Wednesday. And yeah, markets half day tomorrow. But guess what? Before that begins, we get the non-farm payrolls tomorrow morning. You got a precursor of that today. And yeah, the market. We lose 33,000 private jobs in the month of June. We'll see what private payrolls, what non-farm payrolls show tomorrow morning. But talk about shaking it off, man. We get 745, you got to move. There's your volatility on 815. You drive down to market lows near 62.37, and just like that, with 35 points higher, trading at 62.72, and we're making session highs. NASDAQ 100, we're highs for the day, not quite back up to where we were on Monday. S&Ps, we're in record territory. NASDAQ 100, we're about 100 points away from records. Dow, negative by 38 points today, and the Russell, up 1.25% right now. And as I said, crypto having quite a day, up by $4,200 for Bitcoin. You're only $2,000 away from all-time highs. The 10-year right now, 4.29. We got a little bit of lower price, higher yield. We were approaching 4.19 just yesterday. Think about that. 10 basis points in almost a day. And nothing too substantial. And that's 10 basis points higher from 4.19 to 4.29. And meanwhile, in the meantime, we get an employment report that shows that we're losing jobs in June. And the other thing about that employment report, all right, we're going to talk Vietnam in a second as well, is that we had a revision to the month of May. And we only added 29,000 jobs in May. So you add up May and June, and we're at negative numbers for a 2-month period. That probably means, now, again, where's non-farm payroll? We'll find out tomorrow morning. But maybe just a little bit overstated, as in the move. When we were approaching 4.19, you had the dollar up pushing almost 96. We're still pushing 96.78, even as yields have popped 10 basis points right now. You got dollar weakness no matter what is going on in this market right now. And yeah, there's a look of the dollar, man. Giving it all up and then some. All right, and yeah, let's talk a little bit of Vietnam. So the U.S. reaches a deal with Vietnam. Now, the details are yet to be basically published in terms of even a detail sheet, etc. But it's a 20% tariff will be placed on Vietnamese exports to the U.S. and a 40% levy on any goods deemed to be basically using that country as a pass-through, right? So Trump shared the broad contours of the agreement, but the White House has yet to release a term sheet or publish any kind of proclamation, any kind of details. So the numbers are out there, but nonetheless. And yeah, you talk about numbers in terms of Vietnam. Vietnam, sixth biggest supplier of U.S. imports last year, $137 billion. And you look at the rise that they've had, 137 last year, up from barely 50 billion in 2018. And then you go back, right? 12 billion in 2009. Exports to Vietnam, just 15 billion last year. Think we're going to start selling a bunch of vehicles to Vietnam? Is that what we're doing? I think that's what the president's saying in there. The market takes it and runs with it, though. It sure does. Okay, now let's take a look at the price and volume in these markets right now. You take a look at the S&P. Well, you talk about a run. We're not run out of steam just yet in terms of price action, but on a daily basis, coming into the fourth, we only got 45 minutes left to go in trading, and we got no volume, man. 778,000 contracts. Now, we will get some volume on the close, but the market's open for a half day tomorrow. We did 1.26 million the last 3 days, basically, and we're at 778. Now, even if you look at how we get market volume close, you get 70,000 contracts in the last 5 minutes, 100,000. Nonetheless, you're talking about right now in the S&Ps, you would need to do 700,000 contracts by the end of the day. 500,000 contracts by the end of the day. Jump over to the NASDAQ. We may get some volume today. NASDAQ's leading the way, man. These tech stocks. Talk about a company like NVIDIA. 25 billion shares outstanding. You're up $3 and change, adding almost $80 billion in market cap. Whew. Let's see, Microsoft down about 0.4 right now. Take a look at the volume on Microsoft. You know, it's an interesting conversation going into a 3.5 day weekend, right? And so one of the risks right now in the market is the employment report tomorrow. And the other risk right now is the tax cut deal. And so that's looming. And that has a potential. And then nothing's derailed this market just yet. And I don't imagine this is going to happen before 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow where the market's open. But it's a razor-thin margin, man, and we'll see if the House can accept what the Senate has now sent back to them, but indications are that there's some skepticism, and if that's the case, then they pass their own version again. It gets sent back to the Senate again, and it's going to be interesting to see how the market handles that if that's the course that tends to run. All right, you jump over to Tesla. So, quite a bounce for Tesla shares. You bounce right off this technical area, folks. You're looking to get in Tesla. 290 is your price. All right. We trade down to 290, 321. I'm ballparking. But you see the area. Okay. That's the highs of this consolidation area. You back here from like February to the beginning of May. But Tesla's up 5% today almost. And yeah. Global vehicle sales fall 13.5%. A final quarterly tally of 384,000, missed expectations. Look at these delivery numbers compared to where we were. This company was ratcheting it up versus, I mean, look at this growth pattern from 2019 up until about the middle of 2023. It is just not happening, man. All right, we'll take a look at Tesla when we get back. Robo-taxis, of course, in focus. And yeah, Elon will tell you that's the future. But boy, quite a valuation. Tesla up by $15. S&P's up by 23. Come right back, folks.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. You get Tesla up by 4.8%. You jump over to Oracle shares this afternoon. Oracle, how about it? Up by 3.7%. You take a look at this equity. You talk about a rocket ship, man. 118 to 227, and it goes deeper than that, though. It's like no matter where you choose. You're talking about a COVID low at $40 to $240. We pull back with the hikes, but boy, Larry Ellison. And yeah, the story out here from Bloomberg, Oracle and OpenAI expand the Stargate deal for more U.S. data centers, more of them. They're going to rent additional capacity from Oracle. This is AI, OpenAI, totaling 4.5 gigawatts of data center power in the U.S. Unprecedented sum of energy that could power millions of American homes. A gigawatt is akin to the capacity from one nuclear reactor and can provide electricity to roughly 750,000 houses. And what I was going to say to this is, if you recall the story for the nuclear reactor that New York is going to build somewhere in upstate New York, that's at least 1 gigawatt of power. Okay? And OpenAI has agreed to rent computing power from Oracle as part of its Stargate initiative, totaling 4.5 gigawatts of data center power, man. You talk about power. To meet that, Oracle will develop multiple data centers across the U.S. with partners, sites in states including Texas, Michigan, Wisconsin, Wyoming under consideration to expand, in addition to expanding one of their current sites from 1.2 gigabytes to 2. No matter how you think you understand this world, it's coming pretty quickly when you talk about the computational power on this type of a level. Oracle just announced it signed a single cloud deal with $30 billion in annual revenue beginning in fiscal 2028 without naming a customer. Okay? OpenAI. This Stargate agreement makes up at least part of that disclosed contract. $30 billion. On a daily basis, what do we got going on? 14.4 million shares, 17 million yesterday. That was a pullback on Monday. Coming into that on much lighter volume right now. Look at that. That was quite a pullback. Put this on a 15-minute. Plow higher and give it all back on Oracle on Monday. Nonetheless, that's remarkable, man. Microsoft down about 0.4%. We jump over to Google, up by 0.3%. See Meta pushing the lows right now of 714, down $5. Yeah, Amgen up another 2.3%. Some of these moves. And Nvidia up by 2.25%. Because guess what? If you're talking about OpenAI and you're talking about Oracle, you're talking about Nvidia in the same conversation, man. Now, on a weekly basis, we're barely 3 days through the week, but we've only done 500,000 shares on NVIDIA, and you did almost 1.4 million, 1.33 million last week. And on a daily basis, you're not going to get it either. You're only at 133 million shares. You're coming into yesterday's day alone, 213 million. Now, if you think about the next level conversation, right? The jobs numbers on the private number look weak. Okay, we lose $33,000 ADP, 33,000 jobs ADP for June. The next level conversation to have is, okay, let's say non-farm payrolls come in weak as well. There will be more of a push for the Fed to cut. But you're also going to get a weakened economy. Okay, the ideal scenario is you have a Fed that understands they're restraining the economy, they're going to cut, and you don't have the level of weakness that necessitates those cuts. Okay, there's going to be two forces when we reach that level, as in if we get this type of weakness, you are going to see the pressure on yields to go lower. But if you're seeing economic problems, is a quarter point cut going to offset the weakness that you may see in the economy going on? And that's where it's going to be interesting to see how equities handle potentially some weak data that we are getting right now in the economy. That private number this morning, that was the first decline in 2 years, I think, on ADP private payrolls, down by 33,000. And I believe that was and I'll pull up it graphically after the next break. But yeah, it is quite a decline. I was talking about this morning. You've seen a decline basically going since October of last year. And if you take that momentum forward and it carries, you're talking about declining jobs numbers on a going basis. Has not translated to the non-farm payrolls yet, okay? Has not happened, period. We'll see if it happens tomorrow. Jump over to the VIX. Yeah, the market's not thinking it's happening anytime soon, man. This VIX. And the other part of that is, it's July 4th, folks, okay? Tomorrow's a half a day. Unless there's some massive shock tomorrow, you see the way this market shook off the private payroll number, and nothing would surprise me shaking it off into July 4th right now, because the market has priced in some cuts. Some cuts are probably coming. We are getting some weakness, and you have yields sitting with the 10-year at about 4.3%. Jump over to some of the car companies. Ford, continuing the gains of yesterday. It out, up by 3.8%. GM up by 1.1% right now. That's Stellantis? I think it is. Yeah, it is. Different story there, up by 0.6%. Take a look at the cruise ships. Norwegian up by 1.6%. All right, let's go back longer term on these. We've been talking about these. Look at these cruise ships. Just never recovered from the lows. Norwegian up by 1.6% today, but you dropped out of bed from $60 to 10 during COVID, and we've been shopping around near 20 to 30 at best. Royal Caribbean, though, not the case. The clear leader. There's Norwegians down there. Look at the chart of Royal Caribbean. And Carnival's a mess as well. Carnival was already a mess coming into COVID. Now check this out, though. I say that. Carnival's finding some action right now. So look at this, man. Carnival's breaking out with volume right now. On a monthly basis, you do 438 million shares in January. You break above that with wide price spread on 566 million last month. Let's put it on a weekly. All right, let's see. On a weekly basis, we didn't quite get there in terms of where we were January 27th. You do 132 million shares. You do 217 last week. And what week is that? January 27th, 132? Yeah, we're going to get there, man. We've already done 93 million shares. We'll probably get there by tomorrow in 3.5 trading days. Carnival's breaking higher. What's going on with Carnival, man? And look at how when you break out of that downtrend channel, you start a series of higher highs and higher lows over a 3-year period. Coming right into the highs of 2021. Stay tuned, folks. We'll come back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's right now 6270. That's a weekly. We put it back to a 15-minute right now. And yeah, within 3 points of all-time highs right now, the S&Ps. And Mr. Diddy Combs, a good day for Mr. Diddy. He's going to be coming for all those memes. You better watch out. Diddy Combs found not guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking. Convicted of less serious charges after trial in which was accused, of many things, as we all know. 55 years old, acquitted for the most egregious charges against him. And he got 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, which is basically nothing compared to what he was getting charged with. Yeah. So Diddy, he's going to be coming back on his comeback tour. We will see. All right, you talk Japan. So I talked about this one briefly this morning, and we got some problems with Japan going on. Trump talking about whether it's 35%, 25%, but nonetheless, deals difficult to come through. And when we get back from July 4th, man, the headline says it all. Deals could come easy. Japan is proving him wrong. Difficult talks. But guess what? You got Vietnam today. Now, here's where you want to go next level here. As in, and I think the deals are just coming, and hopefully they're coming as quickly as they can, or they're getting announced. Tomorrow is an important jobs number, okay? If it's a good number, maybe we'll get a precursor to that with a Truth Social statement. If it's a bad number, how is that going to... I'm looking for signs on social media, man. That's where we are. And then you think about, okay, if you're going to try and... Let's say you're going to get a bad number, right? Do you try and front load some good news ahead of it, or do you save the good news for after the bad number? I don't know. Both have merit. And this is how those decisions would get made in the moment. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? If you have an announcement for a trade deal, you might have a soft jobs number coming down the line. Maybe you wait the jobs number come out. You hit them with the bad news first, then you get the good. You want the good news or the bad news first, right? Tomorrow's jobs number is ever important with where ADP hit today. And I'm not even... The most remarkable part is the Fed wants... The market wants the Fed to cut. The president wants the Fed to cut, okay? Well, careful what you ask for sometimes. Because let's say we get the data that gives us cuts. I'm interested to see if that plays out, how the market receives that data. The equity market, this is. If you get weakened economic numbers, having the Fed to act, is that going to be enough to pull equities actually higher? I don't think so, where we're positioned. I don't think so at these prices. Let's put it that way. With the S&P pushing 6,300. But you know what, man? When you talk about Microsoft, OpenAI, and Oracle doing deals for 4.5 gigawatts of power, we're on a new level of frontier of productivity, AI, and that is the other part driving this. And a weaker dollar, because we're pricing equities in dollars, man. As long as the dollar goes weaker, and we're looking at the price of an S&P in dollars, that's helped out by a weaker dollar. All right, and I'm going to talk about this one again briefly. I talked about it for almost a whole segment this morning. But this bill, and I bring it up because, there is stuff like this. Somebody had said, I think it was our man Darth, that, there's stuff like this in every bill. Of course there is, okay? But the reason why there is because nobody makes a big enough beef about it. The politicians, they put in what they can in there for their benefactors. But this gambling bill blows me away, man. Okay, this will kill high-stakes professional gambling. And maybe they'll get an exemption, but the level that is at stake right now for meticulous details can get lost in this. And the bottom line is that the way that this is set up in this 940-page version, of the Senate's bill, is that you can only deduct 90% of your losses. Now, what happens, though, is, folks, you have to record that every trade is a profit or a loss, right? In theory, if you go play cash poker, every night will be a profit or a loss, and you have wild swings up and down and up and down and up and down. Same way for tournament poker players, okay? And these numbers are vast. It's the same thing as talking about the revenue and the expenses for a business. The profit number is usually much smaller, okay? Somebody can have a business with $1 million in revenue, and they might just be getting by because maybe they're pulling $950 $1 million, if not more, right? In a cash flow negative situation. But Phil Galfond is a popular poker player who's done well, and they talked to him in this article, okay? And when you talk about these high rollers especially, and I'm not talking about the richest of the rich, okay? Let's just say for the people who are playing even $3,000 tournaments, okay? If you're playing a $3,000 tournament every single weekend, and that's just once a week, you're doing it more than that, many professional gamblers, because you're just trying to make out a profit, let alone the max revenue and loss. There's scenarios, I mean, a $3,000 tournament, folks, playing, what, every 10 is 30 grand. You're talking about 150 grand in buy-ins, period. Now, if you're playing $10,000 tournaments, the big players, we maybe see these disappear because you buy in for $4 million, and then what happens? You break even for $4 million. They're only going to let you write off $3.6 million, and you'd end up paying taxes on $400,000 of income that did not exist, and that's what's in the bill. So when you wonder how like high stakes gambling is going to just disappear, nobody is going to gamble millions if they're only going to be able to write off 90% of it, because a lot of times year by year you might have gains and losses. It's astounding. You jump over to DraftKings, down by 1.5%, and I wonder if that's what's hitting them. Even on that news, as this one became maybe prevalent this morning, down a $3, $2 spike. No matter where you are for gamblers, this is going to hit everybody, okay? I mean, this is a great example. Imagine if you're just playing $10 bets online, okay? You can bet an extreme amount of money, folks, betting a lot of 50-50 $10 bets online. And then you're only able to offset 90% of that number in terms of your losses. You're going to end up paying a dramatic amount of taxes on phantom earnings that do not exist. All right. Check out the equities leading this market. Apple shares up more than 2%. NVIDIA up by 2.3% right now. It's just not stopping, man. Amgen up by 2.1. Oracle on the heels. Look at this run, man. Up more than 4% for Oracle right now. You might be breaking the highs of Monday at 228. You started off the session at 218 today. We take a look at crude. Look at the run crude's got going on, man. Crude trading at 67.24. All right, folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. And remember, so tomorrow morning, non-farm payrolls at 8:30. Market closes at 1 o'clock. We'll wrap it up at 1 o'clock as well. Close for Friday on July 4th. And we jump over. Whatever you're doing on July 4th, folks, no drunk driving, whether you're out in cars or boats, okay? I want to see you back here on Monday morning. Take an Uber. Take a whatever you got to take, okay? Constellation Brands. So Modelo, this one. Now, this is speculation to a certain degree, okay? But Hispanic customers are a core part of the Constellation customer brand when you're talking about Modelo. Modelo's huge everywhere. They were taking over Bud Light as well. But yeah, you look at this chart, man. Constellation from 260 down to 160. They come out with their numbers, and you're up by 4.7%. But yeah, beer sales falling 2% in the latest quarter. And the CEO said that Hispanic consumers are spending less due to concerns in general. And there you go. Hispanic and non-Hispanic. When you see a fair amount of change, Hispanic and non-Hispanic consumer, you know, it's no matter what, that's a negative in terms of the economy. Uncertainty, no matter where you are. But yeah, that's what they're talking about, is they are a core part of that Modelo, Corona, Pacifico. Half of its beer sales come from Latinos, Constellation Brands. So Coca-Cola and Colgate-Palmolive reporting the same. Let's take a look at this equity, man. This thing was on fire for a while. Look at this thing, right? And boy, you come back and you test the lows of 2018, just like that. Take the stairs on the way up and the elevator on the way down. That's how it goes. Sometimes the stairs are pretty steep, though, to the upside, like this equity, man. You take off like a rocket ship to the highs of 2018. You make new highs in the beginning of last year, and you roll over. Boy, you got some volume last month, man. Take a look at the daily. All right, this is some nice volume. You had a big volume yesterday. You're getting follow through today, and you're going to do it on volume. You're going to push more than 5 million shares. Look at this. All right, Constellation, and they have more than Modelo. They sure do. They got a lot of wines. They got Kim Crawford wine. All right, let's check out what they have. And there are the three, right? Modelo, Corona, Pacifico, as they mentioned. Yeah, but yeah. So on the wine part of it, Kim Crawford, Ruffino. I'm not a huge wine person myself, but I know those brands for sure. And down the line they go. And spirits I'm not familiar as well. All right. And yeah, drink responsibly on July 4th, everybody. Constellation. All right, put that one on your radar, man. That's a real breakout. Look at that. You build a base over a 2-week period, you break out, you're doing it with robust volume to the upside right now. Check back in on yields right now. If the 10-year sitting at 4.29. And this is what I mean about not being sure. You know, the market doesn't even know. You get that type of a miss, you would think we're getting higher price, lower yield. The market spikes 10 ticks in a heartbeat, and we give it back. And tomorrow, if we get weakness, yeah, maybe some of that is already baked into this market right now to shake off a number like that. And to a certain degree it is when you get the dollar trading below 97. Jump over to gold right now. Yeah, gold pushing the highs of yesterday, 33.70. And what's cool is, look where we are right now. We're still just pushing the 1-to-1. Gold, from that breakout area in February of 2024, you trade from 2,000 up to 2,800. You pull back a bit. You do an 800-point run again, and that's where we've been chopping around for the better part of almost 3 months now. April, May, and June. And that number is almost to the dollar. 33.68 I have on my chart. We're at 33.67. All right, we check out Netflix. So Netflix been on an absolute tear. Breaks to all-time highs last week, makes that high earlier this week. Yeah, look at the give back yesterday, though. That's some volume. You're getting followed through today. We're not going to have excessive volume today, but it's going to take some work to get back through that level. You're talking about $60 already from where we were trading on Monday on Netflix, and we did it on volume. Paramount's been on quite a run. Yeah, we trade lower, but not with the volume today. Only doing 8.3 million. You did almost 13 million yesterday. We only got 12 minutes left to go in the day. Warner Brothers, they gap a bit lower yesterday with some volume as well. So we jump over to Comcast shares, down by 1.4% today. All right, let's take a look at the airlines. It's been quite a pop from the April lows. You got Delta up 1.6% today. Yeah, we're just chopping around this area that you gapped from in the beginning of May. United slightly in the green right now. No real volume recently, right? You look at these volumes. Got a sign of strength June 23rd, and then nothing. American Airline, look at the volume dropping off here. Same thing, a little action June 23rd, and then nothing since that time. JetBlue. Yeah, nothing here on JetBlue that says buy just yet, that's for sure. We've talked about this equity before. You know, you can always make the case that look at this technical area you're in. Okay, you're getting this thing at $4. It's got all-time lows on this chart of $2.81 in 2009. Look at this base it built for 7 years. But here's the thing. Look at how long it took last time. That's the other part of this. All right? You had to go from 2008 to almost the middle of 2013 for this thing to take off. And we kind of just arrived at this point. You could make the case we got here in October of 2023 in terms of these lows when you were at $3 to $4. But if anything, look at the monthly on JetBlue. Look at the massive volume that you spiked to a low of 334. And that's April. Trade a bit higher in May. And then you give it up, but you trade lower in June on much lighter volume. You do. Look at that. We did only 446 million, but man, that's a big number at the bottom there on JetBlue. Put it on a weekly as we come into this one. Yeah, we're coming back on lighter volume. That April 7th volume sticks out, of course. Nice sign of strength. And since then, we've given it up on JetBlue at $4.42. If you're getting in that equity JetBlue, set yourself a stop somewhere, because if you don't set a stop, there's a decent chance that equity can go to zero. And yeah, not a bad buy at those prices, but there's a chance. Stay tuned, folks. S&P's up by 21. Come right back. One more segment.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Talking somehow that button got hit, but you take a look at the S&Ps, and there we are. We make a new all-time high, 62.74. Look at the volume coming in the last few minutes. We're pushing it higher. NASDAQ 100, we're up by 151 points right now. The Dow, negative by 38. And yeah, so Massachusetts, they're going to follow New York City. I talked about this when it happened. It was talking about paying broker fees. And here's what I'll say, folks. As somebody that's both a landlord, okay, and a tenant. I rent in Lakeland where I am right now. I have either properties in Tampa, many properties in St. Pete as well. It's remarkable what I deal with in St. Pete when I'm dealing with these large, in Lakeland this is. Being a tenant, many of the single-family homes in Lakeland are owned by or managed by larger corporations, okay? And the home I rent in Lakeland right now, I've never actually met a single person. Yeah. I saw the home by touring it remotely, right? Get in with a smart lock. When I do it, everything's signed remotely. When I'm dealing with it, it's a hassle. I'm dealing with calling centers, okay? But even worse than that, which is why, and to pay a broker fee, it just, even myself being like, man, it is so intense. So here's the next part of this is how far people go. There should be regulations on certain part of this, the landlords, as larger corporations control so many single-family homes. What they've now done is tried to push off that they'll control my utilities. So they have a utility management company that instead of just being that you're a tenant, you take the utilities in your name, now a utility management company manages it, and they charge me $15 on top of it, plus a service fee to pay it, all in a way of just like increasing fees in an irrational way. So have a little bit of an open mind, because going through it, man, I'm telling you, it is bonkers. But market bonkers to the upside. Folks, I'll see you here tomorrow morning. We got non-farm payrolls at 8:30. Have a great night, and I'll see you in the morning, folks.
Building wealth